Boom! The Dow up 370 points. My name's D7 and I'm here at Grok Trade. This is the weekend edition, good through Sunday, December 6th, 2015. And on Friday, the markets had a nice rally. A favorable jobs report on Friday set the markets bullish. It's making it almost certain that the Fed will raise rates in a couple of weeks. And the markets ended with the spiders up nearly 2%, the diamonds up more than 2%, the Nasdaq up 2.3%, Russell's up only 1%, banks up 1.65%, financials up 2.65%, US dollar up 0.2%, crude oil dropping 2.4%, production keeps increasing, sending crude oil down. We have silver up a staggering 3%, gold up more than 2%, big pops. We'll look at these charts here momentarily. VIX down almost 10%, the fear dissipating. Here we are looking at the S&P 500 ETF. You'll notice on my video on Thursday I said, we broke support. You do not want to be long this market. And sure enough, in the face of that, the markets in the 11th hour come rallying back. We had a gap up on Friday, a major run to the upside, all very bullish on big time volume, gang. If the markets did not do this yesterday, we would have fallen out of bed. You would have seen a continuation to the downside. Why? Because we broke support or below the 20-day moving average, and it happened on big volume. Normally, dollars to donuts, and 9 times out of 10, you're going to see follow through to the downside, and it'd be a significant drop. I was looking at this area of support coming across, but instead we got a gap up. The jobs earnings, or the jobs report that came out, set the markets in bullish territory. You saw a significant rally here. Now, the banks overall did not necessarily support this movement as much as what I would have liked to have seen. But the volume was so significant on this pop coming back within this area that I think that we have a decent chance of more follow through to the upside. Now, I didn't want to move this until we were on the video. So now I'm going to take this line and bring it right here. I might be a little early. This is only a pivot candle. But here's how I would draw this trend line right there. And now I would say we are, whoops, didn't want to move that. We are now in the confines of two trend lines with a lot of, see these red lines coming across? These signify areas of resistance that I'm watching. Matter of fact, if you pause the video right now, you can write down these numbers, and this is on the spiders ETF, and they'll give you locations that I'm looking at personally for trading. I'll open this up so you can pause the video and write those numbers down and set them in your own chart. And what I like to do is also look at the weekly charts, and here we are looking at the weekly chart. If you remember, we had this big red candlestick dropping and it looked very grim, but we rallied back. Look at where we rallied back. Let me get rid of these numbers here, and I'm going to draw one at this level coming across. So this is a weekly chart at 210. That's going to be a resistance area, but look how many times that the market either started or stopped or started the week right here in this area. So I think that we have a decent chance of continuing higher, but when you look at the weekly chart, this is nothing but sideways movement. Let's look at the monthly and see what we can glean. The monthly, we're just at resistance. As long as we stay below this 211 and on the weekly 210, you cannot say let's be bullish. We're still in danger territory here. Matter of fact, look at the last few months here going higher, and look what volume has been doing. That's not good on the bull side. So this looks like it wants to make this huge M on the monthly. You can see it right here. So this is the left part of the M, double top M, and M stands for murder. So there's your double top. If it were to hit here and then start to drop, this would be a double top trend reversal pattern on the monthly chart. Remember, we've been in this huge bull market. I mean, we've been going up since 2009. 2009, we go into 2010, 2011, higher, 2014, 2015, here we are, but we broke it finally. We finally broke it, big volume. Now we rally back up. What was support is now acting as resistance. This is actually a big time area to say, whoa, this market could fall apart going into 2016. So a lot of problem things that we're seeing here. It'd be interesting in a couple weeks to see what the Fed decides to do when it comes to the interest rates and how the markets will digest that information, if in fact it does. Now we're going to go here to the Nasdaq. Take a look at this. I'm going to take the Nasdaq, go right here, but look where we stopped. Right at resistance on the daily chart on the Nasdaq. We're looking at the Qs here. Boom, resistance. So on the daily chart, we did not break any resistance. We're at resistance. That tells me we have a better chance of dropping now. But we're watching this very closely going into next week. It's very important that we watch to see what happens. Let's see if we can glean anything from the weekly chart here. Weekly chart, we broke support. Come up, now support is resistance. We dropped, we're back up. What we did do on the weekly chart is bust this swing high. So this swing high now has been busted. It's higher than that. So it's a bullish move on the weekly chart with upside potential. You can see that coming across right here, coming up. So that's good. Let's see what the monthly shows us on the Nasdaq. All right, so the Nasdaq on the monthly chart. Big run since 2009, and then we're up here 2015, and we finally broke down. Big volume. We rallied back higher on dissipating volume on the monthly chart. We're at major resistance, big time trouble. As far as the monthly is concerned, we have a great chance of 2016 being a pitiful year in the markets. And you want to share this video. A lot of people need to see the charts for what they are. And again, I've been trading 17 years. In February, it'll be 18 years I've been trading in the markets. And I own one of the largest trading education companies in the world. If you'll look, we rank number one on trading education or trading videos on Google. And on Google, if you put in just trading education, we come up number 2 on Google. And so we are taking a lot of market share when it comes to trading education. We're doing very well. If you look here at the banks here, let's look at the weekly on the banks. We're at resistance on the banks. And I think, as you'll remember last week, I said we have a good chance of dropping here. This is an alert area. Anytime you see one of these, this is me saying, uh-oh, we could have problems here. And on the weekly chart on the banks, we're at resistance. Look for that to drop. And if so, we're not going to see any follow through. However, because we're staying up here at this level, if we break above it, now that's going to be very bullish. I'll remove this, and we're going to be bullish if we can break above this resistance. I'm not going to call it until we do that move above this trend line. Until that point, we're nothing more than being at resistance in an uptrend, looking for a retracement to take place. Let's look at the monthly chart. Monthly chart, though, big thumbs up because we busted resistance. We're going higher. So the question is, will the weekly start to drop? And if so, it will pull it back down into this, and then I'll readjust this trend line. However, we can stay above this trend line on the bank's monthly chart. The markets are going to be okay. We're not going to be dropping anytime soon. Remember, the banks will support the markets going either higher or lower. Crude oil on the monthly chart here just continues to drop and drop and drop. I think that there's going to be a great opportunity to buy soon on this because we have a falling wedge. And this falling wedge, a lot of volume. This could be capitulation taking place right now. So soon they're not going to be producing, keep pumping out this much crude oil, and you're going to see a nice rally. Let's look at the weekly chart on crude oil. On crude oil, weekly chart. Let's go here. Boom. Get this line. This line we did break above. We've pulled back. Let me see. This is interesting. Man, we're at a 6-year low. I think I remember reading that we're at a 6-year low for crude oil. But we're at kind of this area of support. I do see some support here. I would just be watching this like a hawk. Crude oil could certainly be a great play. Here's the monthly chart. Big falling wedge. Look at this. This is upside potential here. Really liking this a lot. We're going to go to silver. This is a monthly chart on silver. On silver on the monthly chart, this is a big time opportunity to buy if we can get a breakthrough. This is the monthly chart. Let's go to a weekly chart, reverse engineer this a little bit, and you can see this is a buy area right now. The weekly chart went down to support. We popped, and we did so a nice volume. Silver is a buy on a long-term position. Silver is a buy. It triggered on Friday. You'll see the big run on Friday. Look at this. Pop, boom, to the upside. I was saying stay away from it, stay away from it, stay away from it, because every time I looked for an area to buy, the thing kept failing, kept dropping. But here we got this big pop. We got smart money in with the volume. That's huge. So gold and silver, absolutely a buy. Let's go to gold daily. Big pop, boom, volume looking nice. Very good. Let's see if we get confirmation with the weekly. Weekly came down, has a nice pop, made a higher high. Let me see if I tweak this line, if it still makes sense coming across. I'm not liking that line as much. I'm not seeing as much confirmation. So maybe what I'm going to do is take this line, bring it to this area, big support. Oh, major support. Boom, this is it. This is the line. Love it, love it, love it. This is a buy, but you got to be very careful with gold. Silver is a safer bet to me, technically speaking, than gold at this moment. I think you're a little early on gold, but the weekly chart is starting to look like it's ready to rock and roll. It just hasn't busted through any resistance like the weekly did. And let's take a look at the month. I've been calling it a buy. I think this is going to be an opportunity soon. I mean, this could be a buy of the year, gold and silver. So good opportunities here. Quick look here at the VIX monthly. The VIX monthly, I think that we have upside potential here. Look how it's we're in this falling wedge, a rounding bottom, and we drop, but we're failing to hit support, so we're staying at resistance. If it breaks out, that means the markets will be going down. This is the monthly chart. Let's look at the weekly on this. The weekly is just drifting down, but it's at support levels. I see the weekly popping too, and if the weekly pops again, the markets will fall out of bed. It'll be very nasty. Let's look at the daily on this. Daily. We had this nice pop, but we're dropping. I think that here I'm going to get rid of this because I think that this thing could still drift downward a bit on the daily chart. So with our websites, guys, we have a lot to offer. So you're not left in the dark. If you go to Free Online Trading Education, you go down here, you'll see that we've followers and students also from 155 countries. But fill out this, you'll get some free education. We're going to send you trading tutorials. They're very basic. They'll get you started down the path, but there's a lot of tutorials here and you will love it. There's a chart school with charts in it, live charts that you can look at. Very robust. If you have a website or a blog for trading, definitely connect to the chart school and our daily videos. Those two areas right there, or share our 101 courses. This is all free. It's freemium products. So do that. When you're ready to elevate things, we do have some fee-based products here that will supercharge your trading. If you like the video, like it, share it also.